There is a new exhibit at the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, and the exhibit honors the women who played and were a part of the league. New at 5, the exhibit is called Beauty of the Game.
They didn't care what color you were. They didn't care what gender you were. All they cared was, can you play?
At the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, a new exhibit that celebrates the women who played in the Negro Leagues and played well.
It's an extraordinary piece of history, but very few folks knew anything about it.
The 3 women played in the 1950s. Toni Stone was the first professional baseball player. She signed with the Indianapolis Clowns to fill the spot left by Hank Aaron when he went to the Boston Braves. Then Mamie Peanut Johnson and Connie Morgan signed.
The legacy of Mamie Johnson and Toni Stone and Connie Morgan should not die because they've died.
Effa Manley is also honored, a savvy executive who helped run the Newark Eagles with her husband. She became the first woman nominated and inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame in 2006.
It's very pertinent subject matter today and very needed dialogue that we're having now as it relates to the subject matter, and there was the Negro Leagues out in front of society. It was out in front of society in terms of breaking barriers.
A partnership with Kansas City Southern Railway is making the exhibit possible.
I doubt that anybody ever pitched underhand to them or slid into second base with anything less than their spikes flying high.
Today is a very special day to be able to commemorate this piece of history that essentially looks at gender equity and how the Negro Leagues was at the forefront of this in the 1950s.
And Bob Kendrick, the president of the museum, says this is the first of several new exhibits that you will be able to see at the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. And today is also a very special day because on February 13th, 1920, Andrew Rube Foster decided he wanted to create the Negro National League right here in KC.
And it continues to thrive right now. The museum does anyway, and what a great place it is.
Oh yeah, and if you ever need to learn anything, you need to talk
Bob's
to Bob.
the man.
Bob is the man.